What is the biggest secret you've kept from your parents? I make more money than I'll let on. My parents have, and will always be the I take care of you all your life, time for you to pay it back type of parent. Except there is no end to this debt. So I hide money from them, so they can't take advantage of me. That's wise. Very smart play. An intelligent move. Big brain time. Outstanding move. Thoughtful maneuver. I'm fully aware of my father's extramarital affairs. I was 2 but then he told me about them BC my mom found out. A really disturbing, and on some levels disgusting moment. He gave me bullshit that my mom had at one point agreed to have an open relationship, but then in the end he proceeded to have an affair that he tried to keep secret. I told him that if they had really agreed to an open relationship then he needs to talk to my mom about what the terms actually are and apologize for keeping the affair a secret. He later TXTS me that night that she blew up and that I had ruined his life. My dad told me that I ruined his life BC of his affair. I know this is unrelated and I apologize, but that shit hurt and I needed to get it off my chest. Especially after seeing comments about awareness towards parental infidelity. My dad told me that I ruined his life BC of his affair. He ruined his life by having an affair. And then years later, son, why don't you love me? I recorded Gundam Wing, Endless Waltz over my sister's high school graduation video. It's been about 18 years, but I still feel bad. That's a good film. High school graduation is insanely boring, and literally nobody would have ever watched that recording. It is a good movie. Fucked up thing is, my buddy bought me it for my birthday before I had a chance to watch the copy on tape. The video of her graduation also had footage of the graduation party. Many of the attendees have now passed away. I would give a lot to watch it. To be fair, they could have broke the tab, so you couldn't record over it. Still sucks though. Wait, what tab? VHS and cassette tapes had a plastic tab near the corner on the edge that, when missing, prevented recording. If the recording device respected this. Holy shit, I had no idea. This blows my mind. Stole money for weed and regret it to this day. My lazy ass should have just gotten a job instead. Sneak the same amount of money somewhere your parents will find it. Edit. Just realized I assumed you stole it from a parent. With interest. Not line of credit interest. Payday loan interest. Sigh. Yep. I've been randomly slipping 20s in places my mom might have forgotten one for 20 years. Shelved purses that will be back in rotation eventually. Sweater pockets. Just straight into her little change wallet. Wherever. The guilt never really goes away, but it makes me happy that she gets so excited when she finds one. I've paid back a few hundred on that 20, and it's never enough. As soon as I'm financially able to do so, I'm gonna hide monies around at my mom's just to see her smile. My wife too. I just wanna see people I love smile really. That's a lot of guilt. I suspect you stole quite a bit for something other than pot, in which case good job flipping it around. I met the guy my mom told me was my real father. We did a DNA test and there is a 0% chance. He even took me on a whitewater rafting trip with his wife and son. I've never told her. Did you do the DNA match through one that could connect you with family? Your father, siblings, cousins? No, I think we just used a government one. I'm not upset by it or super keen on finding my bio dad, as I have a dad who raised me, who also doesn't know I did this. It was more of a curiosity thing and he wanted to know if he had another kid. I'm more curious cause I would wanna know backgrounds or if there is any illness I could be prone to. HMM. Any chance your dad is your bio dad? Makes me wonder why your mom is so far off the mark. I had a roommate who took a 23andMe test and found out her dad was not her biological father. He's at least 50% Choctaw. She had nearly no trace of Native American DNA. She's the middle child and both her siblings look way more like her dad. Unfortunately her mother is pretty far gone into dementia, so asking her isn't going to help either. She decided not to bring it up with her dad, at least for the time being. But I could tell the news hurt pretty bad. My family is about a quarter Italian, on my dad's side. I took an ancestry test that indicates that I have 0 Italian, but also indicates very strongly that my dad is my biological dad. Apparently your genes can leave out whole chunks from parent to child. Edit. A lot of people are saying that this is because of the unknowns in my family history. I should mention that my sister is an anthropologist who has made a hobby of studying my family's genealogy. We trust her over the test, lol. My mum doesn't know I've been arrested twice, one time with my dad. Story time. First time was on a night out in central London with bunch of my mates. Stepped out of the club for a second to grab some cash, then bouncers refused to let me in until I got some water from the shop across the road. Did that and they refused me, told me to have more water, then still wouldn't let me in. So spent the rest of the night arguing with bouncers and getting carried out after running in whilst they were distracted. Was adamant about getting my £10 entry fee back. Ended up having an argument with the manager until I got the money. Then as I was walking away, police were blocking me. Tried pushing them out the way cause I was desperate for a kebab at that point. Ended up getting taken to the station and was in a cell for a night and hit with an £80 fine. Second time was out with my dad after going to the football and having some beers. Late in the night, we were in a pub with a narrow corridor at the entrance, and whilst my dad was there texting his missus, some fella bumped into him and started on him. So I waded in to break it up, and the three of us spilled into the street. I ended up getting cuffed in the middle of the road and carted off to the station. My old man was dragged in behind me whilst I was getting processed. Next morning, a copper, who actually went to school with my dad, had to ring my grandma to pick us up. She was worried and asked them if they knew where I was, and got a bit of a shock when they said I was there as well. Luckily the incident was caught on CCTV, so no fine that time. Are drunk shenanigans. To be fair, in the early morning, nobody should stand between a drunk man and his kebab. Being sexually abused by my cousins, which my mom would leave me at their house to go to the casino a lot as a kid. I'm so sorry. The same with me when I was around 10 with my cousin. She babysat me a lot. Now she still tries to be close with me and I just try to go with it. My parents would be devastated if they knew. I'm a straight man. I was fondled multiple times as a child by my dirtbag father's coke dealer. Maybe I was traded, I don't know. I have had trouble with relationships and being faithful with partners my whole life until I attacked what happened to me head on. Toughest thing I ever had to do was tell my mom this happened to her son. The dealer killed himself about 10 years back, so I couldn't get justice. I just try to be a survivor. That sucks, man. Stay strong and hold your head up. You got this. My abuser is still alive and very much a part of the family. I don't attend reunions where he is in attendance anymore. I told my parents 10 years ago at age 16, and they have basically denied and deflected since that day. I don't bring it up anymore. I hope you are able to move forward each day and thrive. I'm 32 now. I was fine until about 28ish. Then I had to figure out why my peers were succeeded in life markers and I was still game to have one night stands and no dedications. If you notice this affecting your life, you need to attack, if not the individual, then the memory. It is insidious and will make you feel you are wrong or broken. You're not at all. But you may have to go on the offensive if you notice that creep's behavior inflicting damage in the present. I'm not a mental health professional. I'm just saying what worked for me. I took back control